Hey everybody, this is Tony. Um, Before I get started with this episode, I just wanted to say a couple of quick things. The first being thank you to everybody who watches this, watches an old man playing games by himself. Uh, Without you, there'd be no reason for me to do this, and really hope you enjoy them. The second thing is that this video, for whatever reason, I was trying to record it on a larger monitor so that hopefully more of the area would be exposed so that it kind of looks something more like along the lines like this. But it was hopefully readable. But for some reason, the video software was cutting it off down here near the bottom and along the right edge here. So the I decided because of events to just go ahead and use it, and I hope it doesn't turn out too horribly. Um, the big downside to doing a turn and then finding out it uh, didn't turn out very well is that you have to redo the turn, and the events of the turn don't work out the same way. I had actually done about half of the turn after this upcoming turn when suddenly my video software crashed and wiped out or corrupted the entire video. And unfortunately, the video is lost. And again, there were some events that took place during that turn that I probably will not be able to replicate. So I really hate having to start a turn over and having it turn out differently. But I decided that for this episode, I'm going to just go ahead and put the video up there. The events are going to play out as they played out in the turn, and I'm really interested in seeing where it goes from there. So, in the meantime, enough of me rambling. Let's get this show started. Hey everyone, Tony from Cardboard Wars. It is September 1861. The war is not going badly for the Union just yet, nor is it going great. I mean, they've had some successes. They managed to hold on to Washington this time, but they've also put troops deep into Confederate territory, landing at Wilmington, North Carolina. But they did lose control of Missouri. And as you can see, and I'm doing this recording, I have an external monitor on my laptop to see if I can try and get a little more space on the playing field. But as you can see, a large portion of very poor leaders are arrayed in the West. You have Halleck here in New Albany, the Pathfinder John Fremont in St. Louis, Don Carlos Buell, Nathaniel Banks here in Indianapolis, and Irvin McDowell has been transferred from Washington to Columbus, Ohio. McClellan has taken control of the Army of the Potomac, and Don Carlos Buell is down in North Carolina. But as you can see, there are better leaders on the way. Lyon will be returning from the pool from losing his force. And Grant, George Thomas, and Sherman, who will ultimately become better than this. So I've already gone ahead and set up everything, calculated everything. The CSA production has fallen to 98 with the loss of Wilmington, and their imports have fallen to 35. Their port capacity has fallen to 35, and with the 10% blockade, that is, let's see, where was it? Resources. I had it here. Oops. I'm going to jump all the way down there. Resources. Oh, Lord. Of course I'm going to lose it now. Trade effects, command points, blockade table. Why that's under command points, I don't know. But at 35, with a 10% blockade, that knocks them down to 32. And I miscalculated that. So that is 130. So actually I had that right the first time. So CSA imports is at 130. Production's at 98. So the Confederates are still going to make the West their primary theater, the East their secondary, and the Trans-Mississippi the tertiary. As you can see, they don't get any strength points there. So any strength points that get spent have to come from the discretionary pool. The Union is still making the Trans-Mississippi the primary to try to drive the Confederates out of Springfield. The East will be the secondary, and right now the West will be the tertiary, but as of next turn that will change. And not only is the Union going to try and drive the Confederates out of Missouri, but this is where Grant will be starting from Cairo, Illinois, and in order to take on island number 10, he will have to move into the Trans-Mississippi theater. Okay, so where was I? So I'm sorry, my dogs just came running up, and I didn't think everybody wanted to hear me telling them to lay down. But Grant is going to have to go into the Trans-Mississippi before he comes back out. He's basically going to have to go around Kentucky. And no matter where he ends up, he will end up in Cairo. I need him there. Um, but it's going to be very, very interesting with the rest of these very poor leaders, McDowell and Banks, and how oh Lord, because unfortunately, the incompetence is at the top, and it's going to take a while to finally get some generals so that I can get rid of these guys. So I'm going to start off with initiative, and the Union rolls a 6, and the Confederacy rolls an 8, which is a nice difference of 2. And the Confederates have the initiative. They can enter 1 strength point, and they will enter one there in the Trans-Mississippi, and 2. It costs 2 to build a depot. So they're going to spend 2 West Command points to build a supply depot in Memphis. This is just in case they get cut off. Functionality. Not there. So just in case they end up getting cut off. So there is the 2. So the Union is going to spend their 2 trying to get Grant in. And even if we get these admirals into Cairo, that's fine too. So we're going to pull 1 leader into Cairo. They roll a 1, and that's Lion. What is Lion like as a 3-star general? Leaders, 3-star generals. Lion is a 2-1-2. Grant is a 2-2-2. Sherman is a 2-2-2. So Lion is only a step below them. But we've got to get him into combat so that he can get that promotion. So we're going to pull 1 more. And we're going to put a leader into Cincinnati. So we roll 1d10, because there's 7 left. 2, Farragut. So he's going to have to be moved down to Cairo as well. And how many do we have here? We have 6. So Lion cannot move that many. Rosecrans being there could be problematic as well. But we may want to build the Army of the Tennessee there. So, with that being over, we roll for initiative. Union rolls a 7, and the Confederacy rolls a 7. So, let's look at command points. 7 is 6, 4, 1, 2 for the South. Let's see. 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 1, 2. And the Union gets 6, force is increased by 1. Okay, so initiative. Union gets an 11. Confederacy gets a 5. That's a dice difference of 6. And they get a free strength point. I would really love to go for Forts Henry and Donaldson right now. So Lion's still only a 1-star. Let's see, where could we put 1 Trans-Mississippi strength point. We'll go ahead and put that in Rolla. 2 to 1. Command points, we have 12. So we have 3, 2, 3. We're going to activate Curtis to take his 2 strength points and attack Price again. This time the Union has a 2 to 1. No terrain. Curtis has no effect on the battle. Price has no effect on the battle. So the Union rolls. Whoops. So let's cancel it. Well, the Union rolls a 2. Confederacy rolls a 5. So 2 to 1. Confederacy Union rolls a 2. And they're a small force. They just demoralize. And a 5. Or 5. Both sides end up demoralized. So again, Second Battle of Springfield, the Union is again rebuffed. Let me take a look at that one more time. Just for giggles. 2 to 1. 1, 2, because yes, it is a small force. Demoralized to the defender. And the attacker is demoralized. So had they rolled just a little bit less, then the Price's force would have had to have retreated out of Springfield. So we'll just go ahead and flip that. Both sides are demoralized. And that's 3. We're going to go ahead and spend the other 3 to rally the force, because I know that Hardy is still down there chomping at the bit. But he may not really be able, well, he can do some this turn. 3, so that's 6. So the Confederacy is going to spend its 3 discretionaries in order to rally their force, because they don't want to be attacked by Curtis again. Is there anything else that they could do? They have 2 left. What about the Army of Tennessee? 3 strength points. They have 2. So we can S. Clone. And 1, 2. And that's going to cost a West Command point. 3 in order to fortify or bolster Henry and Donaldson. Donaldson. Every time I say it, I know it. I think I'm saying Donaldson, but it always sounds like Donaldson. Okay, so initiative. Now that that's over, Union rolls a 7. Confederacy rolls a 3, so that is a difference of 4. Union has the initiative. 1 there, 2 there. Oops. So there's our freebie. We're going to pull a leader. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is going to go into Evansville, Indiana. 3, 1, 2, 3, and it is Sedgwick. Not a bad choice. And there's 1. So we're going to spend 1 command point, 1 western command point. And we're going to move Farragut by rail down to Cairo to take command of the naval transport. And there will be a new one coming in. Because of the rate that things are going, we're going to spend our last west command point. And we're going to activate Lion to move to Rolla. So that he will take command from Curtis, but Curtis it will bring other implications for the Confederacy. Because Price, even though he managed to take Springfield, he has been under pressure since this turn, or even since the last turn. You know, the Union has been relentless trying to drive him out, even if they have been unsuccessful. So that's 2. 3. I have 1 more. What do I want to do? One more. Do I need to move a leader somewhere? Let me. What do I have in Philadelphia? We have Burnside. 1 strength point. We're going to need a leader in Chambersburg. And a leader in Grafton. Because somebody's got to take command of this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The leader going into Chambersburg is a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is Thomas. And he may end up having to go help McDowell. Because McDowell actually is facing a lot of odds, facing Longstreet and Jackson. And giving up a rig, because that's a +4 that they have. So that is the 4th. So what do the Confederates want to do? Let's see. They have 2 Trans-Mississippi command points, but they don't have anybody that they can move. And anybody who heads out that far, it's going to take them some time to get out there. Well, I think that they could ride the route 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 9. They could get up there pretty quick. Hardy is number 3 in the Brigadiers. So we have 3 leaders to choose from. So I had wanted to build a fort here, but circumstances dictated that the command points went elsewhere. And I'm not sure that leaders really count against rail capacity. Let's see, what to do. Let's see, Johnston does need some help in his army. Three, 2, 1, 1, and oh, that is not in a good place. May have to swap out Stewart with Jackson over there. I know, it's kind of stereotypical Jackson in the Valley. Magruder, I've got to get him into battle. And I'm still trying to figure out how to attack fortresses such as this. Do I attack the Hex? I mean, do I go from Wilmington and just move into this Hex here? Does this count as a navigable river? A navigable river? I mean, almost every single one of them. Well, Pulaski doesn't. Let me put everything back. So, if they move from Fort Monroe up here, does that count as crossing a navigable river? Wow, I've never been so stumped in my life. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, put them into the Army of Tennessee. And roll for initiative. So the Union gets a 3, and the Confederates get a 4. Dice difference of 1. They get a free leader pull. So we're going to put one in Nashville to help as Johnston. It's 5, reroll 3. 1, 2, 3. That is Pemberton. Not really a lot of help, but. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to do another one for Nashville because we're trying to get D.H. Hill there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's Van Dorn. Yay! So that's their one. I may have to send Van Dorn over to the Trans-Mississippi because he can get things done with fewer command points. Do they even have the Army of the West? Or the Army of the Southwest, or whatever it was called over there? Confederate Armies, Army of the West. I think it's like 6 strength points maximum. I'm really surprised though. I mean, it didn't last very long, but there were some armies that existed, like the Army of the Shenandoah. Yeah, it was absorbed into the Army of Northern Virginia, but I was actually surprised that they didn't. They like to give the option. Well, what if Lyon wasn't killed? What if Jackson wasn't killed? Well, why not? Well, what if the Army of the Shenandoah was not absorbed? But be that as it may, that is that dice difference. So now, again, the U.S. is going to try and pull a leader into Cairo. They roll a 3, 1, 2, 3, and that's Sherman. And that's the end of the pulse. Union rolls a 5, and the Confederates roll a 5. So again, we now, table use goes up 1 more, and everybody parties down as they add more command points. So Union with a 5 gets 5, 3, 2, 2, 2. So 3, 2, 2, 5, 5, 3, 2, 2, 2. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, and that definitely helps the Confederates. Initiative. An 11 for the Union and a 6 for the Confederacy. So that's a dice difference of 5. Let's flip this over. Still trying to get Grant into the game. So we're going to take our freebie. Is going to be a leader pull. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it is a 3. So it is Porter. It now goes in there. So that's a freebie. We have 5 that we need to spend. Come on, stop that. Actually, I am going to move this up here so that maybe that'll stop. Because I'm not nearly up there nearly as much as I am down here. Uh, so we're going to spend one Trans-Mississippi command point. Actually, let's just go ahead and spend... No, we're going to spend the one command point. And line is going to take command there. So that's one. And since he's moved, I don't think he can move again. So I got 4 more to go. I'm going to spend 2 naval command points and bring in my other river transport into Cairo. Yes, we're preparing for an offensive. So that's 3. Now we have 2 more to go. What leaders do we have left? Grant or Sigel? Sigel. Actually, I think I'm going to bring them both in. I'm going to bring one into Cairo. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it is Sigel. And the last one into Cairo is going to be Grant. So Grant will be able to take command there, and that's the 5. So the Confederates are going to spend 2 West command points. And Van Dorn is going to move by rail to Arkansas Post, or Madison, Arkansas. And from there, I think he can move 12 more hexes. I think that they can. 3, 4, 5, 8, 10, 1, 4, 6, 7, 9. I do think that they can move by rail as much as they want, and then continue to move their 12 hexes after they get off the rail. I think that they can even move to a rail line, say like they spend 2 movement points, take the rail line to wherever, and then continue moving as if they never took the rail. I think this is correct. I have not been able to verify it in the rule book. But regardless, that's their 2. Do they have any leaders left? Price is still waiting on his promotion. And D.H. Hill. Is there anything? Well, so 3 Western Command points. And they can convert that into a fortress. So Nashville is now a fortress. Delete that and put fortress back in. So that's their 5. So again, we roll for initiative. 4 for the Union. 7 for the Confederacy. That is a dice difference of 3. Confederacy has the initiative, and they're going to put 1 strength point here in Memphis. They need to get I may have to move the other Johnston down here, because the bishop is not going to be able to handle Grant. So that's their freebie. I need to reduce that. There's 2. I'm not going to be up near the top for that thing to come popping down. Shows you what I know. Windows will always find a way. Okay, so we're going to try and put DH Hill in Strasbourg. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many command points? We have 3 to spend. And Price's promotion finally comes through. Elite, even though he can move more now. Oh. No, because there was no battle there. But Curtis, I don't know why I always forget the leader loss. I know how important it is, but I always forget it. So Curtis, 1 star, gets an 8. Leader loss. So he is eligible for promotion, and Lion was not there. So Price is a 1 star, for only 4 or 5. He rolls a 10, he's fine. So his promotion comes through. So Curtis, we can now put Union leaders, 2-star generals. Curtis, we can put him on for turn 3. And again, he's still not really all that good. But even at 0, that is still miles above most of these knuckleheads who currently hold the top spots. And overall, he's just not that great. But zeros are better than negative numbers. Okay, so Price got his promotion. That was the freebie. Two to 2. Okay, 20. Gap. And the gap is 2, right? Trade effects. Road gap. Yeah. So I want to do that. Stewart's in supply. He's in supply. So what we're going to do, we're going to clone that. That is a Western strength point. And going to activate it to move to Fort Pike. So that's 1, 2. That's Savannah, just outside of the east. And they do have one discretionary. We're going to spend the discretionary to put strength point in Savannah, Georgia. So the Union is going to put a strength point in Cairo, and Grant is going to take 6 strength points and march on island number 10, which that's going to be a 3-to-1, 2 column shifts to the left, which will be 3-to-1, 1, 2. So we'll be at +5. Grant has a medium force, and he has a +2. What's that? So he rolls a 1. +2 is 3, so he does a D1. And the Confederates roll a 5. They're a small force. And they just demoralize. Actually, let me spin the West command points so I do not forget. Cannot retreat across a navigable river. That would be more correct because it's towards the supply line. So Grant is demoralized. They are demoralized. But island number 10 has fallen. Now we roll for Grant leader loss. I probably should have left that open. 11. No sweat. So that's 3. So now, oh, I never noticed that before. I wonder what that is. Oh, interesting. Don't know what it is. Oh, I can change the value of this to anything I want. Interesting. Maybe not. Value. Yeah, I know I'm getting sidetracked. I'm still trying to learn this thing. Nationality P. Whatever that's supposed to be. Okay, regardless. So, initiative. Union rolls a 2. Confederacy rolls a 5. There's a difference of 3. And they get a freebie. There are no more leaders. Oh, there's still D.H. Hill. We're going to put D.H. Hill into Strasbourg up here. So this is their freebie. So they have 3 main command points. We have 8 west command points. And if we're going to spend 2 west command points. And we're going to bring in a supply depot into Nashville. Now I'm going to stop real quick, and I have this thing with my brain where if I start talking, all of a sudden my brain will start throwing out random things, and it sometimes distracts me from what I'm talking about. So if I seem like I'm talking about something and then I suddenly change directions or I suddenly stop, it's because I've had one or more random thoughts appear in my brain and it's kind of distracting me and I don't remember what I was saying. Unfortunately, I'm sure that it's some sort of early onset dementia or Alzheimer's or something. You know, getting old sucks, but I'm trying. I have so many games, and I'm trying to play as many of them as I can, at least once. And putting this down, playing on Vassal, I can easily set it up in my basement and play, but it's harder for me with a video camera because it's harder to see. So I try to do this on Vassal as much as possible. So now that I've got that out of the way, probably an hour into this, the Confederates still have 3, and it's inevitable that Kentucky is going to join the side of the Union. So as I was saying, it's inevitable that Kentucky is going to go over to the Union. And to prevent Kentucky just going straight to the Union, the Confederacy is going to spend 3 command points and activate the Army of Tennessee and 2, 3 move into Bowling Green. So yes, while that will give the Confederates a victory point. The Union now owns all rail lines in Kentucky. I hate it when I do that. Control C. We're going to mark in this rail line. So as I quickly review the rules, Kentucky does not automatically join the Union. I wonder if, oh, for Christ's sake. Delete. It's just a question of, can the Confederacy get in there fast enough? So I was under the misconception that at the beginning of turn 3, Kentucky goes to the Union. But at the beginning of turn 3, the Union controls all the rail lines. But since they do not control all of the cities, Kentucky is still up for grabs. So we're going to not do that because we don't want to automatically make Kentucky enemy territory. So instead, we're going to spend 3 Eastern Command points and allow Bragg to advance into West Virginia. And now the Union gets 3. And let's see. 8, 5. So the Union's going to spend 3. Whoops. One command point to move. Oh, he can't command that many. So we're going to move Burnside here for 1 command point. We're going to spend 2 naval command points for Foot to move the transport out again, and they're going to get shot at again, and Fort Fisher misses. They're going to return to Philadelphia. So that's their 3. Initiative. Union rolls a 6. Confederacy rolls a 5. That's a dice difference of 1. And Union has the initiative. There are no leaders left. How many Mississippi command points? So really all that they can do DHL has what? 1 strength point. So we're going to spend a command point to move 1 strength point down from Harrisburg to Pennsylvania. Meet up with Burnside. But D.H. Hill is being protected by the Army of Northern Virginia. Now the question is how to get the Army of the Potomac down into Virginia without having the debacle that happened in the last game. So the Confederacy gets 1, and they, I don't think, have any. They have no leaders left. So they also get 1. Over here. Smith is at Fredericksburg. Magruder. I'm going to spend 1 and move Magruder, Eastern Command Point. 1, 2. Bring him up there. No, on second thought, Magruder is not going to be there. He is going to go from here to there, so that's 1. And then he's going to rail to Nashville because Albert Sidney Johnston needs some help there. He also needs a cavalry guy. Poe is in West Virginia. Johnston is in Western Maryland. So we do need to roll for initiative. It is 2 for the Union, 6 for the Confederacy, dice difference of 4. Let's see, what can we do with the 4? Well, we get 1 freebie, an Eastern Strength Point. That is the only strength points that they have left, so we're going to put it into the Army of Northern Virginia because they're falling behind. Now we get 4. we're going to move Polk, Western Command Point. And he is going to move north in an attempt to rally that group there. That's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So he's going to rally these forces here. And the Union is going to turn around, and of course Grant is going to rally his troops. Delete. So that's 2. You have 2 more to spend. Three and 1. So Lion is going to activate and attack Price one more time at Springfield. This time they have a +2. And it is 2 to 1, I believe. 2 to 1. And Union rolls a 1 up to a 3. Small force. They demoralize the defender. And Price rolls a 5. For some reason it came out twice. 1, 5, small force, demoralize. So again, the Union is repulsed at Springfield. We roll for Curtis. Curtis has a 7. No effect. Lion has a 3. And oh, he dodged a bullet there. He survives. Now, oh, hang on a second. That was a very poor choice of words. But he was obviously shot at during the battle. And then Price, 2-star. What is going on with the double rolling all of a sudden? 11. Price survives. So let's look at Curtis is already in. Lion gets his promotion in. 2-star leaders. And both sides are demoralized. Dang it. So that's 2 now. They're going to spend 2 more command points to rally the Union force. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we roll for initiative again. Union rolls a 5. Confederacy rolls a 12. There's a dice difference of 7. Now, here is where I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. Van Dorn can get reinforcements to Price pretty quick, but if Lion attacks again, that's going to give an additional +1 to him. And I just realized that I screwed up the Wilmington, North Carolina leader rolls. I said they offset and they don't. So the question is, do I go ahead and spend 3? Because I don't have many left. Do I get Van Dorn into the fight up there? Or do I save Price's men? We're going to save Price's men. I mean, honestly, within the context of this game, they have been fighting very hard and repulsing attack after attack after attack. So that's 3. So we have 4 left to spend. And see, now Polk is stuck. And that is the dangers of changing theaters. So let's go ahead and look over here to the east. See what's going on over here. So we got 4 left to spend. Break out. We have 3. There. 1. So we're going to increase that. He's got 10,000 men. So that's 4. We got 3 left. I don't want to attack Grafton. I don't want to attack into that Mount Hex. Train effects. There's 2. Yeah, I don't want to be doing that. Here. So they are virtually at a stalemate there. So 4. We got 3 left. Eastern Command Point, we're going to send D.H. Hill by rail to there. So that leaves us 2. We're going to spend 1 more East Command point. We're going to send Joe Johnston. We can send him through West Virginia because we control all of the rail lines. So we can send him through there. He's not going through the reaction radius of an army. Now down here through Virginia. And down through Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, back into Tennessee, and he is going to end up in Memphis. So that is all of the command points. Let's see. 3, 4 for the strength point. 5 to move him, 6 to move him. So I've got 1 left. E.K. Smith. We're going to send Jeb Stewart one, 2, up to the Army in Northern Virginia, and that's 7. So 2 to 1. There we go. So 2 to 1. It's nothing. The worst they can do is demoralize. The best that they can do is D1. That is 1, 2. They should be able to take price, but they keep rolling low. So again, Lion is going to hit price. Let's close this. 6, finally, D1. And then a 1 for the Confederates, which is going to be nothing. 2 to 1, attacker small, nothing. So these are deleted. So finally, the Union recaptures Springfield, Missouri, and recaptures Missouri as a whole. So price 7, no effect. Lion 5. Oh, again. But I think that he got hit this time. 5, wounded. Well, better than being killed. So both he and his promoted self are on the track. And then Curtis. Eight, he's fine. He's already in for promotion. So Curtis is again in charge in Missouri, de facto. But the USA gains a victory point. The CSA loses a victory point. Missouri is back under the control of the Union. So that's 2. And of course, we're not going to let one, 2. So Grant being 2 hexes away from rail. In fact, I think he can gain supply by the navigable river. So he's in supply. He is going to move and attack Polk 6-1 in Swamp Still. And he has a +2. Ratio differential. So 6-1. 1, 2. Oh, is there defender strength, attacker strength? 6. He's left 3, so there's only 2. So I think that's going to be an overrun. Okay, so it looks like it takes place on the L column, which is 4-1. And because there's only 2 column shifts instead of 3, it stays there. So Grant has a +2 and he gets a +1 from Polk. So he has a +3 and he has got a medium force. And of course he rolls a 1. Let me put my proper glasses on. So that's a 4. Medium force, he does D2 to the defender. So they're wiped out. But let's see if they can do any damage. They also roll a 1, and they do nothing. So we'll roll for Polk, who's a 2-star. That's 4, and he was wounded in the battle. And his 2-star all he can go to? Yep. He's wounded in the battle, so he goes onto the turn track for turn 3. Grant is a 2-star general. He rolls a 3. Oh, and Grant is killed. And this is one of the bizarre quirks of this game. I've seen many games where for some reason a 2-star Grant is killed in action. And that seriously hampers the Union cause. So now there's this force out there that they're kind of stranded because they have no leader. So we've got to get somebody to them as quickly as possible. Wow. Bizarre twist of fate. So that was 2, and they have 5 more to go. And the mind kind of reels at this sort of thing. Let's see. I really need to look at that because I need to figure out the impact of that fortress on supply. So we're going to spend 3 Eastern Command points. So that's 5 total now. And Thomas is going to go and join McClellan. Elite, we got one more we can spend. My brain is still... I've had that happen to me several times. I remember when we played years ago. It's always a shock. But there was just that stray bullet. So we got one more. Oh, wait a second. We still have... He's got two. Dell. Banks. We're going to spend one Western strength point, and that is that. So initiative, 7 for the Union, 6 for the Confederacy. A dice difference of 1. Let's see, what can we do? We're going to put... We're going to spend a discretionary here in Springfield. Curtis cannot move them, but they're trying to prepare for the inevitable onslaught from Van Dorn. And when Curtis does get his promotion, he can move them. So the Confederacy now has 1 that they can spend. I'm going to put it in the Army of Northern Virginia. Initiative. Union rolls a 7. Confederacy rolls a 5. Union maintains the initiative. Gets to bring in 1. Let's see, what do I want to do? The brain is still reeling from... So we're going to spend 2... we have 2 discretionary command points. And we're going to move these 2 down from Springfield to here. Oh, we still have Rosecrans, so Rosecrans can... I was actually kind of looking forward to Grant versus Joe Johnston. Yeah, so we're going to leave that as is right now. So that's 2 now. The Confederates. 4 Eastern Strength points, 5 Eastern Command points, 5 Western Command points. we're going to create the Army of Mississippi under Johnston. Confederate Army Mississippi, Army of Mississippi. Control 1, 3, or D. And this is important because they have the reaction radius. There's 2. It's their 2. So initiative. 6 for the Union. 9 for the Confederacy. That's 3. What? I had something that I was thinking of just a few minutes ago, but I do not remember what it was. Let's see. I'm going to put 1 on that. Our free strength point into Staunton. Got that damn Mountain X. So we're going to spend 3 Eastern Command points to activate Bragg to attack there. And that is a woods. So that's +1. And this probably isn't the brightest thing to do. No, it is not the brightest thing to do. We're going to put that back. So we're going to, oops, wrong way. We're going to activate this unit, come up with Bragg, to make the odds a bit better. I would really love for the Army of the Shenandoah to be here. There's 1, 3, 4, 5. So 2. Oops. S. Move Kirby Smith to there to max out the Army of Northern Virginia. That's 2. One more. Eastern strength point. We are going to bring in 1, to there, and just kind of keep Buell hemmed in. So now the Union has 3 that they can spend. And Rosecrans I have to spend a discretionary 1 and then moves there. And he takes command. That's 1. We're going to, oh, well, we're not there yet. Who do we have? Sherman. Let's see, go. Let's see. We have 2 left that we can spend. Oh. Oops, sorry. Nobody with an initiative of 2. But we do have all these strength points. So Sedgwick has 2. We have no more Western Command points. He has got one, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's go ahead and increase that, decrease that. So that was 1. And we're going to take the naval transports. And Sherman and 2 strength points. We're going to move them on down the river, but we're going to stay out of range of that fort, that fortress right now. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to stay out of the range of that army reaction. We're going to put them on that. Wow. transport, transport, river transport, river transport. And yet, in order to rotate them, they assigned them two different hotkeys. My God, whoever did this module. I mean, I've done one module myself, and I hope it doesn't suck this bad. I tested mine out, and I'm not aware of any bugs. I knew of a few quirks, but this is just like, oh my God. Okay, initiative. 9 for the Union, 9 for the Confederacy, and that ends the turn. So everybody's remaining command points drops to 0. Although they keep their reinforcements. The table use jumps another 3. 3. So, in the end, the big shock is that Ulysses Simpson Grant is dead. Killed in Missouri, just a little south of island number 10. Probably somewhere around island number 14 or 21 or something like that. But I don't know what it is, but I have seen many games where he dies. But it's just one of those things that's like, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so let's check and see if we need to rally anyone. It does not look like it. Not that. Everybody looks to be in decent moods. So, next turn. Kentucky becomes open for battle. This is a mess. Union's still in it, but it's going to be much harder now. Especially since, what is it, we're 2 turns away from Robert E. Lee showing up. He shows up turn 4. Along with Nathan Bedford Forrest and Wheeler. I'll put Price and Polk. A.P. Hill, Breckinridge, Hindman, and Stoneman appear next turn. So a cavalry leader finally shows up for the Union. So I am still absolutely stunned. And I remember the games that we played when I was younger. I was still absolutely stunned whenever it happened. It's supposed to be a rare occurrence, but for some reason it occurs more often than it probably should. But it is what it is. So the question is, can Sherman and Lyon step up and take over for him? Sherman probably could. But we'll see. So, fall is coming to an end. We are heading into winter. It will be November of 1861 to February of 1862, next on turn 3. I will see everybody then with episode 3. Goodbye for now.